Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakak. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS that rule well, Great Millstone that rule well and teach well, and peace, love, and salutations to your fellow Wakim, pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth, waking up the rest of the elect so Yahweh Shai could return and redeem his elect up on that here, man. We pray to be that number, okay? And we're seeing signs, as I'm going to go into, one of those signs that, the Lord is returning soon, man. All right, the elect are about to be sealed, if not sealed already. All right, the angels, all right, that are holding back the winds, all right, the four winds to destroy the earth and the sea, all right, are about to let it loose, man. Okay, we're seeing the spiritual signs happening right before us. All right, fair use. This is a YouTube short of the Denmark Prime Minister. All right, I don't know how to say her name. What she said about she says if Trump takes Greenland, expect NATO and the which is a occupation of Denmark. All right, it's Denmark's land. Okay, which Denmark is part of the NATO countries, which are at alliance, all right, with the United States. All right, but she said if America, the United States / Trump attacks Greenland by force, that they're gonna expect NATO to break up, for that NATO, alliance to stop, So fair use. I'm not using this to make money or clout or anything like that, just for educational purposes only. All right, to teach, okay. I don't want my video taken down or nothing like that, man. I'm not making no money off this, man. I'm not spreading lies or nothing.
For det første, så mener jeg, at man skal tage den amerikanske præsident alvorligt, når han siger, at han ønsker Grønland. Men jeg vil også gøre klart, at hvis USA vælger at angribe et andet NATO-land militært, så hører alting op. Altså inklusive vores NATO og dermed den sikkerhed, som er blevet tilvejebragt siden afslutningen på 2. verdenskrig. Danmark har altid været en god allieret til USA. Det ønsker vi fortsat at være, men jeg bliver også nødt til at anholde noget af det, der bliver sagt fra amerikansk side, og vi vil selvfølgelig ikke affinde os med en situation, hvor man truer os og Grønland på den her måde. For det første,
All right, she said it. All right, the NATO, the alliance that has been since World War II, all right, will stop. Okay, and this could lead to the NATO nations, all right, not being at alliance, not being agreement, and actually hating America. All right, being against America and siding with America's enemies, which the scriptures say that they would do. All right, because NATO, all right, is mentioned in the Bible. Not word for word, letter for letter. It's talking about the 10 horns, all right, okay, of the beast that the whore shall sit on with 7 heads, all right. Talking about, the Edomite countries that are behind the 8th head of the dragon, which is America, okay. The 7 other heads is talking about. I'll get into it. These other European Edomite nations, all right, that had that ruled the world and whatnot, together. But the 8th head, all right, America took over all that during World War I and II, okay, and it's still leading the world and it's still doing their thing, man, okay, and pushing World War III, the third woe, like the scriptures say. The first woe and the second woe have passed, and the third woe cometh quickly. Roughly paraphrasing that scripture, man. Okay, and these but the scriptures say that the 10 horns, all right, which are the 10 NATO countries, okay, that are at alliance with America, with the whore, which symbolizes America, shall hate the whore. All right, so these allies of America shall turn against America, not just for the fuck of it, because America is being wicked and doing crazy things, man. All right, that will trigger and piss off these allies of America, for them to hate them and go against them during World War III, man. All right, and doing this, America just straight up wanting to and saying that they're gonna, say, oh, Greenland's next, man. Okay. Like, come on, man. Like, that's why the scriptures say, women are our oppressors and children. All right, children rule over us. Talking about these Edomites, because they act like fucking children, man. All right. And the scriptures also say, roughly paraphrasing, that if Satan is against Satan, how can that kingdom stand? And that's talking about the Edomites, the so-called white men. They're against each other. One Edomite thinks about this, and the other Edomite thinks about that. One Edomite wants to take Greenland. The other one is like, what the hell are you doing here? Didn't we not agree that that's our land? Why do you got to take Greenland, man? And we know why. All right. We know why Esau, all right, Trump wants to take Greenland. All right. Greenland geography. Okay, Greenland. I didn't want a map of Greenland. I just wanted where it is on Earth. Okay, because I know what it looks like. It's a big piece of land. All right, it's not as big as it looks, but it's a big piece of land, and it's a key position. All right, because it's a land that's close to Russia. Okay, look at this. Let's just get the world map. Yeah, world map. World map. Yeah, whatever. Okay, world map. All right, Greenland is... Come on, the whole world map. Okay. Greenland is right there. Okay. It's actually like half the size of that, but it's right there, man. United States right here, and they're attacking Venezuela. Okay, and they want Cuba. And they want Colombia, all right? They really want all of South America. They want Canada, okay? And now, all right, they want to go after Greenland, okay? Why? Why do they want a place that is barren and produces nothing but like fish, okay? It's because of its position, all right? Okay? On where the world is, on the world map, all right? Greenland is that much closer, all right, to what? The East, all right, Europe and the Middle East and Russia, all right, the East, okay? Because America's right here, all right? Okay? And America wants to expand as far as they can, just like every great nation, all right, country during a world war. What do? They conquer other lands and take other lands and their resources so they could get big and bad, so they could defend themselves and attack and get closer to these other countries that they want to attack, man. Just like Germany did. Germany, during World War II, they were right here, and they conquered all of Europe, and they got a big foothold in Europe, all right? But they couldn't, and they tried to get North Africa and whatnot, but they couldn't successfully win World War III because, hey, America was over here, okay, fucking with them from the east. All right, the east side, the west side of Europe, and the United Kingdom was on top of them, and how do you say it? And Russians from the east, okay, so that they were, they couldn't win, man. All right, no matter how no matter how much land that they took over here, all right, that they couldn't win World War II because the Lord didn't want them to. He wanted America to, okay, America and Russia won World War II, okay, all right, and now, America was ruling, and Russia's was doing its own thing the whole time, just being peaceful and whatnot, but America was being wicked and taking over the whole world, spreading and sitting on many waters, like the scriptures say, and spreading its wicked philosophies and tainting the whole world and making other nations be like America, all right, wicked. All right. And now here we are about, right before World War III. Okay. And the same thing's happening, man. All right. The two sides, Now it's the United States mainly and Russia mainly. And Russia and their allies and the United States and their allies. Okay? And really, the allies of America, they're starting to hate America. All right? Because America's, causing war. All right? Poking the bear, which is Russia. Okay? Trying to take lands that aren't theirs. All right? Venezuela, Greenland, messing with Canada, pissing everybody off, man. All right? Because they know that their time is up. Okay? So they're gearing for war. But they're using the excuse of drugs. Drugs. Oh, they got drugs. They got terrorist people over, so we got to take over that land and bomb them and take their resources. Oh, since we're over here, let's take their oil and resources, and minerals. When really, that's what they wanted in the first place. In Greenland, not so much for the minerals and oil. It's just a position that much closer to the east, to Russia. Because, America's right here. That's far from Russia. Even going around through the Pacific Ocean, But if they get Greenland, they got a foothold, all right. Look how close they are to Russia now, all right, in the east, okay. And if they get Greenland, a foothold in Greenland, hey, if they could get one of these countries, all right, weaker nations, all right, they'll even be closer to Russia, And they're trying to get Venezuela and conquer South America, so that's a foothold down here. If these African nations rise up, which the scriptures say that they will, okay, and America would have a good foothold, all right. And they also need to get Canada, all right, which are the United States allies, but the United States is pissing them off. So, all right, the scriptures say that they're going to be, let's get it, okay, enough rambling and roughly paraphrasing, let's get these scriptures, okay. Not this one. Yeah, Job 18:11 says, terrors shall make him afraid on every side. All right, that's the point that I wanted. And shall drive him to his feet, and that's what America's doing, man. All right, they're being driven to their feet to take over these lands. Okay, grab resources, take geographical positions. All right, gearing up, readying for war. Okay, and these other countries are doing the same, man. All right, because they know what time it is. It's time for war, World War III. Okay, and the Lord is making these countries gear up for World War III so He could take them down. All right, appear out of the sky and have the war in heaven happen, and the Lord steamrolls these countries in the sky, then come down and destroy these heathen nations in the Middle East. Then save His elect, in the Americas and around the world, but mainly America, save them by the way of chariots and beaming them up into the chariots. Beam me up, Scotty. Okay. And then bang, nuke America. All right. And these other major countries, not all of them, but the major ones. And bang, the crowning ceremony happens. Fallout happens. The crowning ceremony in the heavens happen. All right. We get those new bodies. Okay. And then we descend from the heavens, the sky, from the chariots, and conquer the whole world. All right. That's what's going to happen, man, if you want to believe it or not. And there's little minor details, all right, that we could explain in another lesson, in the kingdom of heaven, man. So yeah, that's what is going to happen, man. All right. But, terrors shall make America afraid on every side, man. Okay. Because, they got these countries all the way over here from the east and the west, okay? And it's drawing them to stand on their feet, all right? That means they're trying to take these countries, all right, to make them even, the United, the people on TikTok are saying United South America, and they're naming these countries after American names and whatnot, and it's funny, but hey, it's true. That's the intentions of Trump and the United States, man, the West. All right. And they got it's all because of this little country right here. That little sliver of yellow right there in between the green and the orange and the red right there. The people that live right there are converts, and they're unlike any other type of people around them. It's because those are the same people that run this country, man. All right. They run and they call the shots around the whole world, man. And they're causing everybody to go to war because the Spirit of the Lord is putting the Lord is putting the Spirit upon these little demons, all right, in that spot, okay, to draw everybody out for war, bombing neighbors, all right, setting up puppet leaders, all right, just causing everybody to go to war, man, because the Lord has put a wicked spirit upon those people to do that. And the Lord put these little people, all right, in power over the whole world. And they're called the JEWs, the fake JEWs, man, the small hats, okay? And they're the least of the flock. And the least of the flock, means not irrelevant, but what's that word the brother's been bringing out? Not inconsiderate. What the hell? Let's get it. Blue. Jeremiah 15:40. $45. Least of the flock, okay. Insignificant, okay. That's the word. Yep, right here. Insignificant, little. All right, that's a little piece of land, little population of people right there, man. But they run the whole world. And what are they doing? They're drawing every population of people to go to war, get mad with each other, man. All right. The capital I people, the white and blue flag people, the false symbol of King David flag people, okay? Those people, okay? All right, because I can't sit. All right, these people, see that word that I just typed? Those people, all right, are drawing everybody to go to war, all right? Because they run shit, okay? If you don't want to do what they want, all right, they unalive you, they destroy you, okay? And that's what happened to Maduro, because Maduro, correct me if I'm wrong, I seen a TikTok, I don't know if it was AI or not, but he was against, all right, what those people were saying and what they believe in, their plans. And what happened? America went down there and falsified by saying, that they were lying on them, saying that they're bringing drugs into the United States, which they were, but the United States was actually setting up people in that country to do so. It wasn't really Venezuela's like plan and whatnot, but yeah, man, and the people there in Venezuela, they actually loved their president. They're not celebrating. They're actually protesting against what the United States did to Maduro, capturing him and whatnot, So, yeah, man, hey, let's get this. I roughly paraphrase this a couple times. All right. Revelation 17 and 16. I roughly paraphrase a couple scriptures before this. All right. It says, in the 10 horns, which thou sawest, and the 10 horns are what? The NATO nations. All right. And Denmark, all right, which occupies Greenland, is one of those 10 horns, man. Okay. Which are allies to America. It says in the 10 horns, which are what? Allies to the United States, which is spiritually the whore of Babylon. Okay. Which thou sawest upon the beast. Okay. These shall hate the whore. Okay. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And that's what has happened. And that's what's going to happen, man. All right. We're seeing those beginning stages, man. All right. They're turning on America. They're getting pissed off with America because what America's doing. Okay. Okay. So I can end it off right there. Jeremiah 49:20 says, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom. okay, against Edom. And we all know who the Edomites are, okay? And his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. All right, the Edomites, a tribe of Edom. All right, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make her habitations desolate with them. Okay, so just a precept to Jeremiah 50 and 45, man. Okay, saying the same thing, man. The least of the flock, okay, is drawing out these countries to go to war. Okay, all right, because hey, America, they're making moves. Because hey, if they don't, Israel, all right, I said it, all right, they're gonna replace Trump with someone else, all right, to gear up for war, all right. So, hey, man, but hey, the Lord chose Trump to do it, all right. So, hey, man, I hope this was edifying to the elect. I'm gonna end it off right there. Hope this was edifying to the elect. Denmark, which is a NATO nation, the prime minister, she said, hey, we're going to cut ties. This alliance that we have with you, America, it's going to stop if you try to take Greenland, man. So,